I did it. I did it. I have officially been monetized for 1 whole year. Getting monetized is a big deal for YouTubers because all of the work that you've been doing is finally paying off. But getting monetized is actually just the beginning. So that's why we're gonna hop over to my computer and I'm gonna break down how much YouTube paid me in 1 year monetized. Let's go. All right, here we are. Here is my YouTube analytics. I set the time custom from April 22nd, 2020 to April 22nd, 2021 because it was my entire first year monetized. So from the 22nd to the 22nd. And before we dive into the revenue and how much money I made, I want to first check out the views. I had nearly 1 million views during this time, and you can see that the views were going up until about October, November, December, and then they went down. And I had a baby, I took time off YouTube, so it totally makes sense. But what we're gonna see is, does a decrease in views make a decrease in money? So heading over to this revenue tab right here, I'm not gonna reveal how much money I made yet because there's something I want to show you first. The very first day that I made money was on the 22nd of April. I made $2.36. Woohoo! And you can see that it went up from there. My revenue peaked really in November. You know, my highest day was $49.30, which was a great day. Then the revenue per day definitely went down from there. Let's do a drum roll. How much money did I make in 1 year monetized? $8,775.23. But don't stop right there because this is super interesting how we got to this amount. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click see more, and then this is gonna bring up the revenue. And I love Google Analytics. I'm such a data nerd because you can just drill into why things happen the way that they did. And so you can see this is showing my top 5 videos. This is daily and how much money they made. So the video that did the best in 1 single day for me right here was the how to get monetized on YouTube. It made $14.65. So that's this video right here. And actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this by month. I think it's a little easier to look at this by month. But before I do, let's look at the monthly totals of all the videos combined. So obviously the first month, it was the end of the month. I didn't really make that much money, but $56 ain't bad.
I'll give you $50 for it. $50 ain't bad.
And you can see it went up more and it peaked in October, $1,019.09. And then November was more or less the same, and then it started going down. So again, $764, and then last month, $500, but again, that was a partial month. So still making over $500 a month from my AdSense, but the majority of it was from these months right here where it was over $900, $1,000. Would I have liked to have seen this continue to climb exponentially? Yeah, absolutely. Did that happen in my case? No. But there are some really cool things here that I can dive into, which will help me make even more money for this upcoming year. So I'm going to uncheck right here and we're going to look at the different videos. And this video right here, how I got monetized, this was a workhorse for me. This video was really picked up by the algorithm and just started making a ton of money for me. So $327 in August, and it continued to do really well. And then it just wasn't as popular in the algorithm, or other videos maybe were doing better. And so this one has gone down. It's still making, $72, $100 here and there, but it's not like what it was at the beginning of the year. And then you see other videos also were climbing. This green line is how to pick a winner on Instagram. That did $205 in just 1 day. So really, really cool. So now I'm gonna go to this revenue tab because this is gonna give us even more information about the breakdown of the revenue. So again, we still see the $8,775, but we wanna look right here and look at the RPM and the CPM. So you'll remember CPM, that is the cost per mil. That is the cost that advertisers are going to pay to have their ads in front of 1,000 of your viewers. And this totally is dependent based on your channel and the topic of your channels. Finance, real estate, those channels have very high CPM because typically people who are watching those videos are willing to spend money, and it's just very competitive. It's a very competitive market, so they have to spend more in order for their ads to get shown. Whereas if you are in, let's say you're a prank channel or a gaming channel or maybe a vlog channel, you might find that your CPM is much lower because typically there isn't as much competition to get in front of those viewers. Now RPM right there, this is your portion of that amount. CPM is the entire amount that an advertiser pays, but you don't get all of that. YouTube takes their chunk. And so RPM, that is your chunk of the money and your chunk of the CPM, if that makes sense. So my RPM on average was $8.89, and my CPM for on average for this time period is $16.98. Does that mean it's always that? No. And for individual videos and day to day, your CPM is changing. And we're gonna dive in and you're gonna see that I have some crazy high CPM for certain videos. That is way higher than $16.98. But before we do, I just wanna look at the CPM, and typically these do mirror each other because it's just kind of a portion of the CPM. So we're gonna look at CPM, and you can see initially it was anywhere from $11.9 to $15, not even, for a long time. But then as advertisers got more familiar with me and my channel, it has definitely gone up. And so now it's anywhere from $20 to $25, which is great because if you remember, my views were going down during this time. So my views are going down, but my CPM is going up, which can make your revenue go up. So now let's drill into this even more because there's so many nuggets that you can learn about monetization and your channel and how to make more money. So we're gonna click see more right here, and it's gonna break down all of your different videos and how they were doing. So right now, this is showing the CPM per day, and it's all over the place. You know, CPM one day for this video was $108.40. And that's for my video, How to Work from Home with Kids. An advertiser was paying $108. That's crazy, okay? And that by far is really high. But we all know why, because last year was the event which shall not be named, and I'm not gonna name it because I don't wanna get demonetized. That's kind of the whole point, monetization, right? That was a very hot topic because so many people were working from home and going back home that people were searching tools and systems and processes on how they can make their work from home life better. So my video is all about working from home with kids. So there was a lot of competition from those advertisers for videos on that topic. Now, the highest CPM that I ever had during this period was $130.49. Can all of my videos just be like that, please? Hello, thank you very much. So I just think that's really interesting, and there's a lot of fluctuations, and it may just be due to holidays. You might see big fluctuations or certain seasonality, so that's just something to look into. Now, I actually like looking at this better as a monthly statistic, so you can see on average for the month, what was it? You know, those peaks and those spikes, those were just one day, so it's kind of an anomaly. So I like to look at the average for the month, but still, that one had the highest CPM for me and has continued to grow. So on average, that one was $48, okay? So let's dive in right here. The video that made me the most money as a whole was this one, How to Get Monetized on YouTube. It made me nearly $2,000, which thank you very much. I love that. And that's because it did really well. It had nearly 170,000 views. And the CPM was pretty high. It was higher than my channel average, which I will definitely take. But what I think is really interesting is this one right here. So you can see how to use the EveryDollar app. That is in the finance space. That made $1,000 on only 53,000 views. So it had a third of the views of this video, but it made half of the amount that other video did. And the reason is because of the CPM. This CPM is so much higher than this one. So even with having less views, a higher CPM can make up the difference. There are those two factors in play when it comes to how much money you're gonna be making on YouTube. Now, I think this is hilarious. Look at this one right here. $4.33. That's not good. Compared to all these other ones, $39, $21, $41. Yeah. Those are good CPMs, and this one is not. However, it's still one of my top performing videos. You can see this is the How to Win Instagram Giveaways video. This video has 150,000 views, so it was doing really, really well, but it only made me $366 despite having just a ton of views. And so we can see the reason why. It just has a pitifully low CPM. And this is a no-brainer. This absolutely makes sense because that video is all about people who want freebies. They want free stuff. How can I win free stuff? So unlike people in this one right here, how to use the EveryDollar app, those are people who are wanting to know information on how to budget, how to use a specific app for budgeting. So they're probably a more valuable type of customer or viewer because they've already shown that they're interested in finance, they're interested in budgeting. So those advertisers are gonna be willing to pay more for ads on videos like that. Whereas this, I mean, it's just a bunch of freeloaders. No offense, but it's true, right? So it's no surprise to me that this one right here is just not so good. So So another thing that you will see with your videos is that there is an 80-20 component when it comes to how much money you're making. Typically 20% of your videos is gonna make up for 80% of your revenue, 20% of your videos are gonna make up for 80% of your views, and we definitely see that right here. These first 4 videos, they're about 62% of my total money for just 4 videos. So the percentages are right here, and then it really drops off as far as a percentage of my total $8,775 that I made. This one only accounts for 3% and 2%. And we scroll all the way down to this very last one, only 0.1% of my revenue of the year. I made $5.48 from this amazing video. You wanna know what it is? How to be consistent on YouTube. Does not pay well. It makes sense. It doesn't even have 1,000 views. That video just did not perform well for me. So since I didn't have the views to back it up, even though it had a pretty okay CPM, I mean, it's below average for my channel, it's just not making a lot of money, which is a bummer. And that happens sometimes. I think that's a great video, but compared to other videos out there, maybe it's not as good. And so people aren't watching it, so I'm not making money. So if you're wanting to make more money on YouTube, you can actually dive into your analytics because it is filled with so many nuggets of information. And that's what I'm doing for my channel going forward. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm gonna do. We know that CPM and views are the 2 factors to making more money on YouTube. So if I'm maximizing everything that I'm doing to get more views, I'm optimizing my videos, I'm trying to make them really engaging, right? I'm doing everything I can to get people watching the videos and getting them in front of people. However, if that's not working, another thing that I can do is take a look at this CPM. So if I was all about the money, right, I would just go and I would find videos that on average have the highest CPM. So this $41.94, that's YouTube SEO basics. So that for me, hey, maybe I need to do more videos on YouTube SEO. Or this one right here, how to work from home with kids, maybe I should make more videos on working from home and working from home setups, right? Because those are really high CPM. So if I make a video on those topics, most likely the CPM will probably be similar. Now, a word of caution, you don't want to just chase the money. Even though these have high CPMs, my subscribers and my audience may not really be interested in these videos, or they may not like me pivoting to just this one topic. So it's up for you to really weigh that and to see, okay, are these videos that my subscribers would be interested in? If yes, then definitely go for it. If not, then maybe you want to pivot your channel to focus on this other thing. But again, there's no guarantee that just because you make a video in something that has a high CPM that it's gonna get views or people are gonna like it or watch it. So I'm not saying do it, but it's something to consider and it's something to look at. For me going forward, these videos are all over the place. How to get monetized on YouTube, how to pick a winner on Instagram, how to use the EveryDollar app, how to run a successful giveaway, how to work from home with kids. For me, I'm really gonna dive into these analytics, my CPM and RPM specifically, to see, okay, where should I be spending my time? Clearly videos like this Instagram giveaways one with a measly $4.33 CPM, those probably aren't worth my time and I don't want to focus on that anymore. But maybe some of these other ones are better options for me. So if you're looking for video ideas, your CPM, this is one way to do that. There you have it. That is how much money I made in 1 year monetized on YouTube. I would have absolutely loved to hit $10,000 in my first year monetized, but don't worry, I'm definitely gonna hit that this year. And then after that, I'm gonna hit 10K months and then 10K days. How does that sound? That's all I have for today, and I'll see you next time. So cheesy. You can do this, you can do this. Oh, I'm flying away. Okay. I am, no, necessarily always the clace. That's all I have for today, and I'll see you next time. Why am I pointing over here? Just end the darn video.